Hey, welcome to What Would Dorcy Do? I am Dorcy Pruter, the CEO and founder of the Conscious Co-Parenting Institute, and I am coming to you live to share with you a little bit of information about some things that keep coming up here at the Conscious Co-Parenting Institute. So I know we're on a Friday, we're on the weekend, and we're getting prepared to head into a short holiday weekend. And I just wanted to talk to you guys a lot about, or a little bit about, some of the things we keep seeing that are causing people to stay stuck and frustrated in the family court system, and also in their lack of being able to move their case forward or reunification forward. And I want to talk about some tips that I want to give to you about how you can shift your mindset from a blame mindset and empower yourself so that you can win custody against a pathogenic co-parent. So maybe somebody who's narcissistic or borderline, or even worse, a dark triad, or maybe they're not diagnosed, but they just have the symptomology of the pathology. And so I really want to share with you some things, some basic things that you can do when you're dealing with being stuck in the vicious cycle of blame. So when you're dealing with custody, or a custody battle against a pathogenic co-parent, it's really essential to shift from that blame mindset to an empowered mindset. And sometimes you're blaming the other parent. Maybe the blame is of the legal system, the lawyers, the mental health providers, and all of these things. And I'm not saying that they're not doing anything wrong, because most likely you wouldn't be in this situation if they were doing everything right. However, when you're stuck in the mindset of blame, it really hinders you and your ability to really navigate the legal system effectively. And so today, I just want to provide you with my top 5 tips to really help you shift your mindset and increase your chances of winning custody against a pathogenic co-parent. So the first tip is you have to recognize the effect of the blame mindset. So we have to understand that when you're blaming yourself or you're blaming others, that leads to self-doubt, or it leads to everything outside of you is in charge, and it's very disempowering. And when we understand the negative impact of a blame mindset, whether it's self or others, that's really the first step towards really empowering yourself. Blaming yourself or others really leads to anxiety, stress, loss of focus on your ultimate goal, feeling helpless or hopeless. So you've got to recognize the blame game only diverts your energy away from building a really strong case. And then you have to reframe the narrative. So that's number 2. You have to shift your focus from blaming to empowering yourself. So instead of dwelling on past mistakes or feeling victimized by the pathogenic co-parent or the system, you have to reframe the narrative to one of personal growth and resilience. So you have to embrace the challenges as opportunities for personal development and learning. You have to look at these things as stepping stones, as the opportunity to learn and grow. And then you have to seek professional support. So when we're dealing with a pathogenic co-parent, a narcissist or a borderline or a dark triad in a custody battle, it can be emotionally draining. So you have to seek support from professionals such as therapists, counselors, coaches, support groups like the Alliance, to solve parental alienation, where we actually provide support. And you have to be really careful that you're not allying with people that hold you stuck in the blame or the victim mindset. You want to make sure that you surround yourself with professionals and people who help empower you. So these professionals can provide guidance, help you navigate the emotional challenges, and really empower you to maintain focus on your custody goals. So many times professionals get emotionally hooked with you and you just spiral together. One of the things that we do here at the Conscious Co-Parenting Institute and providing support in our coursework and in our coaching is to help really empower you to see how powerful you actually are. That's why I coined the phrase, the chosen parent. When you understand that you're a chosen parent, that your child is choosing you because they know you're the healthier of the 2 parents, that you're the one who's going to learn the skills to lift the family out of the pathology, right? Lift them out of the middle, shift how you're showing up, teaching them this skill so that they can be in relationship with both parents, right? Chosen parent, not the targeted parent, right? The targeted parent is what the pathology wants you to think that you are. When you start to believe that you're a targeted parent, you fall into the victim mindset and you stay stuck. So just remember, the chosen parent is your child is choosing you because they know. They know you're going to do this internal work. They know you're going to shift out of the blame and victim mindset and into the chosen parent mindset, into the empowered, authentic, healthy, loving, unconditionally loving parent. Okay. The next tip, my fourth tip, is to focus on your evidence and documentation. So when you're battling a pathogenic co-parent, evidence and documentation plays a really crucial role in custody cases. So when you're shifting your mindset towards gathering and organizing concrete evidence that really supports your claims, you've got to document incidents, conversations, any relevant information that can demonstrate the pathogenic co-parent's behavior and how it's impacting your child's well-being. So a strong case built on strong evidence is more likely to prevail in court. This is one of the reasons that the work that we do is so pivotal and crucial in this family dynamic, because we are professionals who understand the family dynamic. We've shifted from the old vernacular of parental alienation, which doesn't provide a diagnosis, to understanding that child psychological abuse is happening. And what is the fingerprinting of the abusive parent? Who's causing it? And what do we do about it? That's one of the most important things you need to have, key ingredients you need to have as you're collecting and focusing on evidence. If the professionals you're working with are helping you stay destabilized in your upset emotions, that's not going to serve you. It's not going to serve your children. And it's going to hold you stuck. And then my fifth tip is really to develop a strategic legal approach. So you have to collaborate closely with an experienced family law attorney who understands the dynamics of dealing with a pathogenic co-parent. Not parental alienation. That's not going to get you what you want. That's only going to create a straw man argument for the other side. He said, she said, back and forth, that keeps you stuck. You need a competent, experienced lawyer who understands the family dynamic, what it means to when you're dealing with a co-parent who's narcissistic or borderline or dark triad, right? Somebody who has a personality disorder, or at least the fingerprintings of that, and we see it in the children, okay? So together, working with your legal team, you want to develop a strategic legal approach tailored to your specific situation. So you want to focus on presenting a strong case that really highlights the child's best interest, safeguards their well-being by having a well-prepared legal strategy. You could feel more empowered. You feel more confident in court. You shift out of the blame. Everything is happening out here to me. To empowered, you're in charge. So when we shift our mindset from the blame mindset to an empowered mindset, it is critically important. It's crucial when you're fighting for custody against a pathogenic narcissistic borderline co-parent. So by recognizing the effects of the blame game, reframing the narrative, seeking professional support, focusing on evidence and documentation that supports your case, and developing a strategic legal approach, you can position yourself for success in a custody battle. Just remember, empowerment comes from within, okay? It's an inside game. And by adopting a positive, proactive mindset, you actually increase your chances of winning custody and providing a stable, nurturing environment for your child. So when you're preparing for a high conflict custody court case, it can really be overwhelming and challenging. So it requires really careful planning, emotional resilience, and a strategic approach. And this process that I'm talking about, I want to share with you because we know this is what works. And we have just launched our new program, the Child Custody Solutions, which is an online course. So it is a course where we provide education, so helping you gain a thorough understanding of the legal process and your rights, really familiarizing you with what is relevant, the laws that are relevant, and regulations that pertain to child custody in your jurisdiction. And additionally, help you seek professional advice from a family law attorney by asking the right questions. And in this course, we are helping you understand documentation so that you can document everything. That'll help you maintain detailed records, all the interactions, communications, incidents as they relate to your co-parenting relationship. So this includes like emails and text messages, and helps you really understand what evidence is important and what evidence isn't important. So if you've ever been spiraling, trying to get everything together, you're meeting your lawyer on the courthouse steps the day of trial, and they're like not as organized as you want them to be, the Child Custody Solutions course really helps you understand, what do you need, analyzing your evidence, what does it mean, what part of your case is it pertinent to, and how to really get prepared. How to get prepared for mediation, how to get prepared for trial if you have to go to trial, how to get prepared for depositions if you need those, or preparing and getting witnesses prepared for your trial, or witnesses prepared or preparing you as a witness. So the process really guides you through all these things that I've been talking about, where we help you understand what it is that you need and why it is that you need it. So you can sift through a lot of the data that you have that you may not need. And then we also help you understand how your emotional support is needed and what type of emotional support you need, so that you make sure that you have trusted people that are empowering you, not people who seem like positive advocates, but they're really secretly negative advocates holding you stuck in your blame and victim story. And we help you understand the importance of a strong legal team and how to enlist the services of those experienced family law attorneys who specialize in these types of cases. A knowledgeable legal team working with you is critically important. So many parents get into this battle and they don't realize how important they are, how important you are in having a strategic plan and building that strong team. You're the driver. And a lot of parents hire lawyers thinking the lawyers are going to do everything, but you have to remember that a lawyer has a lot of clients and you only have your case. And so putting your case together is so important. What you include is critically important. And we've seen so many parents that fumble the ball because their lawyer fumbles the ball at the 1 yard line because they don't really understand what's happening in the family. So the Child Custody Solutions course, this is an online class where there is like 12 hours, I believe, of 9 to 12 hours of recorded content where you can listen to me teaching the class, guiding you through the worksheets, helping you understand like what is important and why, and helping you with your mindset, helping you understand how to build your strong legal team. And then helping you understand what it means to maintain your composure and your professionalism when you're dealing with a high conflict or a pathogenic co-parent. When you're dealing with these cases, it's really essential, critically essential, really, to remain composed and professional in all of your interactions. You have to avoid engaging in that verbal or written confrontation with your co-parent. And it can be used against you. And we see this happen all the time too. So you have to present yourself in a calm, reasonable, responsible manner so that you are the reasonable parent, focusing on the best interest of your child. So you have to understand that when you're going through this process, that you have to have all of your case put together properly. You have to know what it is that you need. You have to have the right team. You have to understand that you are the one driving. It's your family, your children. You have to have the right mindset so that everybody on your team also has the right mindset. And then Another component and another thing you should be thinking about is developing a co-parenting plan, and you should have 3 versions of this. So when you're creating a comprehensive co-parenting plan, you want to make sure that you're outlining everything. One of the greatest tragedies that we see in these family law cases is very vague court orders. So some people go to court, they get a court order, their lawyer doesn't really do that much for them, and wabam, they get a court order and they're very excited, but nothing happens. As a matter of fact, things get worse because a pathogenic co-parent will find all of the loopholes, find all of the ways, right, to move through a vague co-parenting plan and hold you stuck. And then you want to gather witnesses. So we want to guide you through the process. This is a bonus module that we have in the online course, but you have to really understand that you want to have expert witnesses and also non-expert witnesses. Do you need an expert? If you don't, how do you get the witnesses that you have? Who's the best witness for you? How do you get them prepared? So I taught this class last year live, and we've added a bunch of additional material to the online coursework. So if you are enrolling in the class now, you will get lifetime access to the online class, that material plus all of the bonus material. And the bonus material is phenomenal. We really have workbooks and worksheets and checks and balances, how to get prepared and how to get your witnesses prepared. What do you need? And then you have to be thinking about, as you're going through all of your paperwork and making sure you're in the right mindset and your team is ready, that you can consider the different potential arguments or strategies your co-parent may present in court. So when you're organized and you're looking at your data and you have everything with your checklist and you know what's going on from your perspective, then you can play devil's advocate. You can start considering arguments or strategies that the other parent might be presenting in court. You can be proactive based on things that you know on how that parent has showed up in the past. So when you're playing devil's advocate, it really allows you to anticipate what it is that they're claiming and prepare your counter arguments effectively. So you want to consult with your lawyer to develop those really robust responses and evidence to address any potential challenges. And in the online course, we give you checklists and some curriculum on how to actually do that so that you are prepared. And then the last thing I want to mention is really practicing self-care. You have to prioritize your self-care throughout this entire process. You need to engage in activities that promote your physical and mental well-being. As you maintain a healthy support network, make sure you're exercising, you're getting out in nature, maybe just putting your feet in the grass, practicing relaxation techniques, really breathing in, learn how to do meditation if you're not doing that. You don't need to sit in a corner, checked out for hours on end. 5-minute meditation in the morning. I love the practice of last thought, first thought. So last thought before you go to sleep, program your mind, program your subconscious mind. What do you want to be thinking about and visualizing yourself as? And first thought in the morning, paying attention. So you really want to practice these techniques so that you can ensure you have ample time for rest and rejuvenation. So as we're moving into this holiday weekend, really take the time to care for yourself. That will enhance your ability to navigate a high conflict custody case that you may be enduring right now with resilience and clarity. Also, as you're preparing for this case, or if you're in preparation, it's never too late to get more organized, to understand at a deeper level what you're up against, to build your muscle for your emotional strength and endurance, and to have a strategic approach. When you educate yourself and you document incidents and you seek support and you build a strong legal team and support team around your legal team, maintaining composure, and you prepare for a mediation or court, you can empower yourself and increase your chances of a favorable outcome. So just remember, prioritize your self-care throughout the process and trust in the support system available to you. We are here as a resource. This online course is phenomenal. The course right now is $597. However, if you enroll in that course, I think through the weekend, you actually get $200 off. So the course is $397. And if you took the live course last year, then check your email, because my team sent you a special email for those of you based on a promise that I made to you last year if you enrolled in the course last year. So it is online. All the content is online. There's a whole bunch of more bonus material that was not in the class last year that you get, and you will have lifetime access. So if you enroll, you will get lifetime access to that, to the course. You can go back to it as much as you want. And for those of you that are like, I really need more on hands-on support, more one-on-one support with us, feel free to schedule a consultation. If you haven't spoken to a strategist on our team in the past, feel free to schedule a call with one of our strategists to talk about your case specifics and how we may be able to go deeper with you in working on your specific case. So with that, I say thank you so much for listening. I hope you have an awesome weekend. Just remember that you are the chosen parent. Your children are choosing you because they know you're the healthier of the two parents, that you're the parent who's going to go the distance, that you're the parent who's going to jump in with both feet and learn what you need to learn to recover your family. They're waiting for you. They love you so much. Just remember, you have to have peace in so that you can have peace out. So I hope you all have a great weekend, and I will see you next time on What Would Dorcy Do? Thanks for listening and have a good one. Bye, everyone.